Back to part 2 of One Lick, Two Great Guitarists, 2 albums. That one first, and now this one. And how the One Lick sounds different in the 2 settings. I might point out at this point, when Fighting was released, the Thin Lizzy album was released, they did an interview, well, Brian Roberts and Scott Gorham did, on Radio Luxembourg. And as well as playing tracks off the album, they played some of their favourite music, and playing a track of the Nils album, Brian exclaimed, "Nils Lofgren is the greatest cat on earth," right? So I would imagine they were aware of each other's playing, and in this context, they both use the same lick. Now they're in a slightly different key, right? So if I could transpose it as they do in all legal disputes over copyright, you'll maybe see it closer, right? Put the phaser off for a second. Brian's is in A, Nils is in G. So when Nils plays, that, it's in the key G, right? If we take that in A, right, it would be like this. Right, that would be Nils's lick. Here's Brian's. So I think you'd probably agree that the 2 licks are pretty similar. Now, how to play them, right? We'll stick in A. So we're bending a B note, adding an E, and then B up to C sharp with that vibrato. Let's bring in the wah. Right, there's Brian's. Nils is more like, but if we have transpose them in the same key, if we put them in A major rather than G for Nils's one, we'll find that you've got the same lick. Very, very similar anyway. Around the time that, around the time that Fighting came out, let's see, a mouthful of tea, around the time that Fighting came out, Thin Lizzy, or rather, Scott Gorham and Brian Robertson did an interview on Radio Luxembourg, where they talked about their forthcoming album, Fighting, how they felt it was the best twin lead they had played on a song called King's Vengeance, which is absolutely fantastic. And they talked about other music that they liked. So between playing tracks of Fighting, there were other tracks. I think the 2 guys, Brian and Scott, got to choose. And there's a track off this album that I wasn't really aware of at the time, and Brian exclaimed, "Nils Lofgren is the greatest cat on earth," right? So I would imagine that both of them were aware of each other. You know, Nils was very much, although he comes from Washington, he was very much part of the sort of London scene at the time, because he was having this incredible success with that album, his first solo album, but you know, he'd done 4 with Grin, Steve Stalls 2, played piano on Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. I don't know why he did that. And he'd played, I think he would have done Tonight's the Night with that incredible solo and Speaking Out at that point. And I've always thought that was interesting, because I probably had the albums within a few months of each other. And of course, you know, I heard these 2. And if you then put them in the same key, and Nils, you can see what happens when you use the wah in conjunction. As I say, so that was just, to me, an interesting thing. One lick that's on 2 different songs. I'm sure there are a lot, but one lick is on 2 songs by Brian Robertson on Liz's Fighting and on Nils on his first solo album. So, see you next time.